All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Skill Up Show. That show where we talk about how we can become better parents in order for us to raise children who are wholesome. That show where we talk about how you, as a parent, can be equipped to take on this journey of parenting as a confident parent. The truth about it is, when you are confident as a parent, that confidence exudes and your child would know that you are confident. Think of it this way: you have a boss that is confident, you have a boss that is in control of their emotions, you have a boss that makes informed choices, you have a boss who is empathetic and considerate. Okay, how would you feel about that boss? How would you feel about that kind of boss? Same thing with your child. When you are a parent who is confident, a parent who has control because you are knowledgeable, a parent who knows what to do and how to do what they're doing, what happens is you become confident and your child can see that confidence because it exudes. And this is how you raise children who can trust you just because you decided to do the work on yourself. Welcome to the Skill of Show. My name is Maribeth Chima. I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources. And I am the proud, I say that 3 times, proud matron of the Mastermind Circle, a peer mentorship and accountability group where we work with young children, pre-teens. We work with this group of children to help them begin to take the front stage in their own life. We like to say to the children, as much as you have daddy and mommy and coaches and mentors, teachers and everyone willing to support you, you need to know one thing: that you are the constant and the most important person in your life. So the decisions that you make today, the decisions that you make today, the things that you know today, how willing you are to learn today, and the foundation that you build today is going to determine the rest of your life. So I like to say to the children, what you're doing today is building the 30-year-olds, the 40, the 60, and even the 80-year-old that you will become someday. Yes, so today we're looking at what we can do as parents. All right, we're looking at what we can do, or how we can understand the place of um your financial blueprints. Yes, how we can understand financial blueprints and how we can help our children understand this also. It's a very key part of our parenting. I have been talking about financial education. I've been talking about how to raise financially skilled children for some time. I have been working with the children in the mastermind circle to become financially independent, financially knowledgeable. And so we are looking at how we can also bring that to the parents in the general group that we work with. We want to look at how we can build financial education or literacy in our children. All right, just be with me for a second. I think I just give me a minute, please. Thank you very much. Just give me a second here. All right, I'm so sorry about that. I needed to sort some things around here. All right, so we're looking at how we can help our children, or how we can understand our financial blueprint as a family. Okay, so let me start here by saying that I've said this before, but I'll say it again, that by the time, experts say that by the time our children are about 7 years old, they already have their money habits, right? So the question we ask ourselves, or we should ask ourselves, is where do they pick this money habit? Okay, we are saying by the time your child is 7, most of how your child is going to interact with money, how your child is going to act around money, how your child is going to behave around money is already formed by the time the child is 7 years old. Now, if nothing is done, or if attention is not paid, right, to this facts about your child's life, meaning if your child has the wrong financial habits, then the child is going to grow with those habits like that. If the child has the right financial habits, it means that, of course, you can use, the child is going to use that to build, right? He's going to build on that as they grow up. Meaning, if they have bad ones, they're going to also build on the bad ones' habits as they grow up. So what it means that it is very important what financial habits our children have, and where they pick these financial habits is what we should be concerned about as a parent. But newsflash, your child's financial habits is going to be drawn from you, their parents. So the children actually draw their financial habits from us as their parents. What we say about money, what we believe about money, how we handle and interact with money, and how it is that we, the ideology and the beliefs that we have around money. This is going to form what your child's money habits will become. So you want to ask yourself, what money habits do I have? You want to ask yourself, how do I, sorry, 1 second. So we want to ask ourselves, what financial habits do I have, basically, and what is it that I am passing down to my child? Because if you are not passing down the right financial habits, it means that your child is going to be building, or the child is going to develop the wrong financial habits, and this will come back, to bite, or this will mean that your child is going to struggle as your child becomes older. I'm sure you can see that I'm actually battling with something. I'm trying to look for my notes. All right, so let's go on. I'm sure I'm going to find it somewhere. I can't even understand what happened here. Okay, so yes, one of the things that we do as parents that our children will draw their financial habits from. What are these things that we are doing? Number one, what are the things that you say around your children? These things that you say around your children about money is going to form what your children think about money. So if you are that parent, I wrote a post some time ago, and I said, instead of saying to your child, I don't have money, tell your child that it is not, what it is that they want is not priority on that list yet. So you want to say to them, yes, we're going to come back to this, but yet it is not priority yet. Right. I gave an example in one of my classes, and I said, with our kids, when we go out shopping, we do not, when we go to the store, we go to the supermarket and all of that, we do not jump and buy things as we like. It's not as if I'm not like many other parents, or we're not like many other parents that the children want something and we want to show them, hey, yeah, we can do it for you, or we love you enough to give it to you. It's not like we can't do it, but we know that whatever it is that we're doing right now is going to, it's going to form what our children see money as, or how our children interact with money. Now, because we know this, we know it's our responsibility to create the right mindset, or the right beliefs and the right interaction with money. So for one, we want to teach them that money is something that you plan for. Money is not one of those decisions that you make. You don't want to be that spontaneous person. Oh, I see this. All of a sudden, money that I have kept for something else, I jump and I grab it and I use it and all of that. We want them to understand that money is something that you create goals and you create plans around. So if we want them to understand this, then we can't be the same ones who go to a supermarket to buy, let's say, eggs and bread and stuff, and then we get there and we end up with chocolates and all of these other things. So what do we do to our children, right? Not to create a scarcity mindset. What we do to them is, oh yeah, put that on your wish list and we can get it tomorrow. All right, put that on your wish list and we're going to get that the next time we come to the store. So you see, when our children want to ask now, they ask, oh mommy, I really like this, can I put it on my wish list for next time? And I'm like, go ahead. And chances are next time, of course, you'll be able to get it. In the first place, you may not even not get it at that time because you can't. It's because you want to be consistent with the financial education or the financial, mindset that you are helping your child create. Very, very key about this. Your financial habits, right? And how it is that they see you demonstrate this in the way, in things that you do. The other one is what you speak or what you say about money, right? What you speak and what you say about money. Okay, that's also very, very key. If you are that parent that is constantly never agreeing that you have money, all right? Every time, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. What you're doing is you're going to create a scarcity mindset, right, with your child. And that's why we said use empowering, right? Use empowering minds. I mean, use an empowering mindset or project to them, right, an abundance mindset. So that way you empower them by saying, maybe not now, but later. All right. So the mindset is very, very key. And then, of course, the general mindset that you have as a person. If you're a person who is positive, you're a person who is always positive, you're a person who has a generally you have that growth mindset. You believe that nothing is impossible. You believe that anything that you set your mind to, you can get. You believe that if you want something, then you can go for, you should go for it. And then you believe that you can set big dreams and you can achieve those dreams. Now, if you are this kind of parent, right, or you are this kind of caregiver, and this is how your outlook to life is, chances are you're going to raise a child who is going to build that is going to have an abundance mindset, because in your dictionary, there is no scarcity. In your dictionary, there is no, it's not possible. In your dictionary, there is nothing like it's not doable. In your dictionary, it's possible. I mean, all we need to do is make more effort. All we need to do is put more effort into whatever it is that we're doing. Now, when you are this kind of person, right, your children would generally, okay, they would tap from that energy. Okay, it feels like it's something that can diffuse, all right, something that can diffuse from you. It's an energy. You can pass it to your children. And if you are always positive and they are always with this positive talk and positive mindset, of course, your children will also develop the positive mindset. And that way, you will be raising children, with the right blueprint, basically. All right. Now, these things are very, very key because, as we said, who your children are financially, the things that your children, think, and the mindset that your children have is going to come from you. All right. So the world of money as we have it today is a very confusing one. Let's think about it right now. The world of money, how we perceive money, how children perceive money, or how your child will come to perceive money is something that could be, it could go right, left, up. It could go any way at all, because the world of money right now as we have it today is very confusing. Out there are all kinds of things that people define as what wealth or riches or is, basically. And so it is key that as a parent, you give your child a financial personality, identity, if you like, right? It's important that you create what wealth is, or that you are the first teacher of what wealth should mean to your children. Now, if you do not create what wealth means to you as a family, if you do not give them a financial identity or personality, right, then you are going to be leaving gaps open. And I hope you know that in parenting and in your, I mean, in the life of children, there are no gaps. In the life of children, there are no gaps. Something is going to feel it. Anything that you are not feeling, something else is going to feel it. Because children will always be curious. And when you are curious, what are you looking for? You are looking for answers, right? So children will be curious. They were created to be curious. All right. It's an innate ability for a child to be curious because, of course, the child is in a world that the child does not have complete understanding of. In fact, when the child comes into the world, the child does not have an understanding of the world. So when the child comes into the world, the child is going to see the world through your eyes as the parent first. The child is going to understand the world by interacting with the world. The child is going to see the world by what they consume, the content of what they consume in their environment, basically. Now, in that your environment, your TV is part of the environment in your home. The sound system, the mobile phone, the laptops, the laptop, all of these things, your laptop, what do you call it? Your iPads, all of these things are part of the things that are educating your child, or the part of the things in your environment that are teaching the child what the world is. So your child is learning. So as a parent, if you are not feeling this curiosity, remember the child is interacting with the world to understand the world. That's how the child understands the world. He understands the world by interacting with the world through play, conversations, communications, all of that. So yes, if you as a parent are not feeling the questions that your child has about every aspect of life, different aspects of life, if you're not feeling these gaps, then something else is going to feel it, because there are no vacuums. So yes, if you're not feeling it, it could be what he sees on TV that is going to feel it. If you're not feeling it, it could be what he sees the other day that you took him to a birthday party, and then he saw 10, 20 men holding money in bunches like this and doing them like this in the air. It could be for your child what it means to be wealthy. So I don't know what it is that is your family dynamics. I don't know what it is that is your family values. I don't know what it is that you believe as a family. But whatever it is your responsibility as a parent to step this down in a way that your child can understand it and your child can believe it. So the way you have values, and you have values in different areas, you should have your beliefs, your ideology, and your perspective. And this will form your values around money. So let me ask you, dear parents, what is your family values in the area of money and finances? Basically, what is your financial values? What is your financial values, basically? So what are those values? These are the values that you are going to pass down to your children, that will form their mindset, that will form their personality or identity, that will form what they believe that money is or should be. All right, so that they know what they stand for, they know what is accepted. What it is, that what source money can come from that is accepted. They know what it is that they are looking for, what they see for them to say this is wealth, and they know what wealth is not. They will only know all of this if, as a family, you're able to pass this down to your children. Now, this is what happens if you do not do that. This is what happens. Your children are going to turn to what is available. And these days, you know what is available? What is available is pop culture. What is available is what celebrities say that wealth is. What is available is what the musicians say wealth is, what P. Diddy says that wealth is, what's his name? What's that? Kanye West. What he says that money is, what Hollywood says that money is, first of all. So Hollywood says that money is what happens to you, and you have to dress a certain way, you have to look a certain way, you have to do a certain kind of thing, so that becomes what your child associates wealth as. And so definitely in your child's vision of what wealth is and what they would do when they become wealthy is what it is that they have taken in as what wealth is. So if that is being drawn from what Hollywood says it is, then the aspiration and what they think and how they think that money should be gotten from, or how money or wealth can be created, is going to be as prescribed by Hollywood. Remember that even in that, it's not like your children, I mean, these children are going to have the facts about what it is in Hollywood. They are going to have what Hollywood shows in the movies. They're going to have what they see on the red carpet. Remember, they don't even have access to the real life of these people, to the reality, that these people are living. So no wonder we have young people who are living lives that are far from being realistic, because the models that they have are people who are themselves acting on social media, who are themselves acting in the movies, who are themselves acting on the red carpet. This is all the information that our children have that they use to fill up or define their own ideology or mindset about wealth. So let's leave Hollywood. Now let's come to Nollywood. Nollywood, I hope you know that Nollywood's description or Nollywood's mindset or whatever it is that it projects about money is different from what Hollywood projects. Because in Hollywood, at least we know they are A-listers. We know, I mean, in Hollywood, you can tell, right? It's not like there's some definition right there in Hollywood. Now, when we now come to Nollywood, Nollywood will not define to your child what wealth is. First of all, if your child is that one, that every Nollywood movie that grandma is watching, they are watching. Every Nollywood movie that your domestic staff are seeing, they're seeing. So basically, first of all, that impression, that thing that the movies say, okay, those men that they have to be in that room and be doing, this is how they get money. All of these are information. The subconscious mind of your child is going to take all of this in. I hope you know at this stage. But your child is just a child and is not able to rationalize this information that they are getting. The way you can rationalize it and you can say, oh, it is this or it is that and it is this. But even at that, do you know how many of our young people, how many of our young people have gone astray? How many of our young people have ended up in cults when they get into the university, have ended up in, they've gotten into lots of, trouble. How many young people, where are we going far? We're talking of children. Do you not hear stories? I've heard one story of a group of friends who went out with their friend, 3 of them, and 2 of them actually traveled all the way from somewhere in the south, right? Somewhere in the south to Lagos, whether Ibadan or one of those other places, all the way to somewhere. It's from Lagos, they traveled to somewhere in Ekpe or somewhere like that to go and do money ritual with their friend. So 3 friends leave, and then unknown to the 3rd friend, 2 of her friends already had planned to go and use her for money rituals. Have we talked about the ones that, we know the one in Akwa Ibom, right? That it was even said after they caught up with this guy, right? In his father's compound, right? It was said that there's been many girls that his sisters will bring home as their friends, and they ended up being molested and whatever. So if we're talking about the confusion that Nollywood as a body or whatever it is, right? Nollywood on its own, the misconception that young people have drawn because there was no perspective, the misconception that young people have things, that are supposed to be in the movies that young people have taken and internalized and tried to practicalize, or these things have made them vulnerable, right, as they grew into teenagers and young adults, simply because they saw these things, and these narratives were the narratives that they ran with, because someone left a vacuum that did not give this child a financial personality or identity that formed their mindset, basically. This is what we're talking about here. So yes, if you are not telling your child what wealth, what's money, what's abundance is, then Nollywood is going to fill that space. And Nollywood is going to tell them that, oh, as a woman, all you need, okay, that's not even Nollywood. We'll come to that word. Nollywood is going to tell them as a man, oh, there are certain sacrifices that you can make. All you need is to find the right people. You'll be in the right space. And then you do what they do. And then it's going to tell them all of that. I hope you know that young people take risk. That is the stage in the life of a human being where you take a lot of risk. That's why you find that people who make these mistakes are usually young people. You would think that when they watch those movies and they see what the movies say, happen to those people eventually, okay, they will be afraid. Have you not heard people say, something will kill a man? You don't have careless people around. You don't hear careless people talk like that. When you say, oh, this is not good for you, and then I beg you, who will die? Something will kill somebody someday. So in the meantime, let us do this one, whether we know that it will kill us. Let's live for today. People live, in this part of the world, we practically, a lot of us practically live that way, knowing that what you're doing is dangerous, knowing that what you're doing could lead, to a point of no return. Yet people take this risk every time. Talk about it. The people who go and scoop petrol, right? The people who go and scoop petrol from burst pipes and all of that. What do you think that they are doing? Are you trying to tell me that these people have not heard of 2 years and 5 years and 10 years and 20 years ago that, one of those pipelines blew up and tens and hundreds of people died? It's like they've not heard. But hey, these young people are willing to take risk, So whatever is put out there without the right narrative, without the right perspective, your child is going to draw it in, and your child is going to form his mindset about money, his mindset about wealth. The child is going to form it from this, okay? And this is what, or this could be what your child would run with if you are not doing the right thing, okay? Or if you are not filling that space up, with the right mindset or the right narrative. All right. The other one is reality shows, right? So I don't know the reality show people. I don't know. Are they Hollywood stars too? Are they Nollywood stars too? Okay. I really do not know. So that's what I'm asking. So if they're Nollywood stars too, okay. But I would think that Nollywood stars are the people who act, isn't it? So these ones now there's that general, oh, you need to make it, how do they call it? You need to blow. Okay, so there's that general, you need to blow kind of thing. Oh, you need to blow, and then young people are constantly looking for that breakthrough, what it is that they can do to blow. We heard how Hilda Basi, before she broke the world record, with her cooking escape, with the cooking thing, how she had said she tried, going through the BB Niger routes, right, for whatever reason, right, to get traction, to get popularity, as most of them would say, for the platform, right? Everybody wants a platform. And so basically what children are beginning to see and believe, you will be shocked, right? Ask your child, and you will find out that your child probably empathizes with these routes, and if they have a chance, they will take it. It's a chance to blow. So a lot of times you will hear young people say, I just want to go in there so that basically I can use the platform to get visibility and all of that. So yes, this could be it. If you do not. And of course, if your family dynamics, as I said, your values align with these things, then beautiful. You want to be sure that what it is that your child is absorbing, that is taking in and is believing, is in line with what it is that you believe. That's all we're saying here. So that you don't have a child that you believe one thing, you are of a school of thought, or it's not just about school of thought. Your values, your standard is on one lane, and your child's standard is on another lane altogether. And then you wake up one day and you begin to look for everything and everyone else to blame as the people who made a mess of your child's mind. You start with the school, then you go to their friends, then you go to everybody else apart from yourself. Now, this is how it starts when you do not create a blueprint. All right, when you do not create a blueprint, okay, then your child will fill up the gaps, all right, because there is no standard to what it is that wealth, money creation, world creation, all of that. There is no standard to it, and so your child will fill in that gap with anything. All right, so I just talked about all of these three avenues. Then there is the avenue. Then there are those ones that believe that, right? You just need to get into an office, right? You just need to get into an office, and when you get into this particular office, in that office, there is a lot of money. Now, when you think about it, you have children, young people who are just waiting to get into certain ministries, just waiting to get into certain parastatals, just waiting to get into certain places, not because they know that there is something that they are going to go in there and contribute that will make them so valuable that they will become people of impact, and they will become people who solve certain problems and they will get paid. No, they just want to go in there because there is a sharing formula. They just want to go in there because that is where the deals come from. They just want to go in there because of what they see you, or they see other people. Okay, it could be a neighbor, it could be a friend's parent, it could be anybody at all, and they've seen that from a particular place. When you walk in a particular place, these things will be coming. Now they know that these things do not come as far in this place. There are opportunities for you to become valuable. There are opportunities for you to create. There are opportunities for you to use your skills and all of that. They just know that in these places, when you get in there, the sharing formula is a deal. So the others children, there are this group of children that are going to grow waiting for sharing formula. There are this group of children that are going to grow knowing that corruption is legalized. There are this group of people that would know. They know. This is it. So this is how they intend to create wealth in their lives. Young people, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. Sometimes I hear adults who are waiting for the time where they will get on that seat. So you find that, all right, this one is a very deep matter. So you find that people work and they are hoping to rise up to a particular point one day, not because of the value that they bring to the table, not because of the breakthroughs or great projects that they have in mind, that they would do. It's just a case of exams will come, we will write, and we will move, and then I will get to that place where me too, I control the contract and I will eat and all of that. So is that part of your financial blueprint? Is that part of who you are? Then put it together and teach it to your children as your financial blueprint, if you think that's okay. All right, but I don't think so, or do you? All right, so that could be it also. Now, there are the ones that we raise and we practically say to them, right, you need to grow up. There's some children that are going to draw this, whether from you or from society or from wherever, okay, where the mindset is you need to grow and then hook yourself up, with someone that has made lots of money, and then that is it. So the mindset or the narrative is that, someday, okay, this one happens to a lot of women, all right? And we hear young people talk about it unashamedly these days, how, man, I did not come to suffer. Oh, man, I did not come to do waiting, and all of that. I mean, my own now, I'm just waiting to get this kind of person, like this person, a man that is, basically, there is that whole, my job in this life is to do nothing serious. I'm just going to wait here and see for that. I mean, wait for that person that is a millionaire, that is a billionaire, and boom, I will do everything within my power, make myself and put myself before this kind of person. It doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. What matters is that I would rather cry and in Dubai than to be, I don't know how they put these things. Okay. So I would rather, I mean, I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. I would rather cry in Dubai. I mean, cry in Seychelles than laugh in Ajegule or something, things like that, paraphrased. But basically, what they're saying is, I would rather be with some partner, I would rather be with some husband, I would rather be with some wife, I would rather be with some partner that is going to bankroll me, and it doesn't matter who or what this person is, or how they decide to live their life or do with their life. I couldn't be bothered, provided this person is bankrolling me. So basically, parents, these are different ways. These are different ways that your children are going to perceive wealth. Okay, they are the ones that will perceive wealth as something, I mean, that you get from doing devious things. Right? You could have to go as far as having to kill people. It's wealth. You have to go. I mean, we talk about the Yahoo guys and all of that. You have to, if you have to, I mean, deceive people, I mean, manipulate people to the point that they take their own lives, wherever it ends, it's not your problem, provided money ends up in your accounts. So there are those people also. They are the ones that is a case of, I mean, we are daredevils like that. So if we have to stuff and carry grams of, drugs and all of that, if we have to ingest it, if whatever we would do, we will go all the length. So these are the ones that, take all the risk. The risk is worth it, provided at the end of the day, you will get the wealth. We've had cases of government officials or people, okay, who get, apprehended, or somehow they get caught up, their whole corruption thing comes up, and you hear people say something like, it's okay, at least when they catch them, they will take only half, they would have kept half. So yeah, if you come from this part of the world, there are all kinds of things, So basically, dear parents, what I'm trying to say, I mean, we could be laughing or smiling about these things. I mean, I can be talking about these things, like it's something to joke about. It's really nothing to joke about. I mean, it's just hilarious when you think of how, I don't know, I don't want to say low. Okay, it's just ridiculous how we think of different ways that, wealth has been seen, what wealth has been seen to be, the different versions of narrative, okay, of what wealth is out there. And when you think about it, does it feel okay? Does it seem like it's okay? Does it seem like it's okay? Does it feel like it's okay? Yes, we are not doing anything to help our children. We're not doing anything concrete to help our children see wealth in a different light. Because if we don't help them see wealth in a different light, then these narratives will become the narrative that our children will run with. And this is what they will begin to believe. This is what they will begin to these are the ideologies that your children will key into. This is how your children will see wealth. I mean, it will shock you. You will listen to your teenagers and your young adults talk. I mean, you see how they will trivialize things that are serious just because in the center of it, there is money. In the center of it, money or wealth is involved. Okay, so we need to ensure that we are creating, or we are building the right, mindsets by creating the right financial blueprints. So what's a financial blueprint basically? It's a roadmap basically. So it's what you create in your family. It's a roadmap in your family that spells out how money or wealth can be achieved. Okay, the kind of things that you can do to have wealth, to create wealth. The process that you can go through as a family to build a dynasty or build a financial and heritage, right? As a family, okay, what it is as a family that is acceptable basically in order for everyone to grow and be successful. So the financial blueprints you create in your home will spell out to your children what wealth is to you as a family. It will spell out to your children what standards or what is acceptable, okay, when it comes to creating wealth. How far can we go? Where can we not go? Right, when it comes to creating wealth, it will spell out to your children what they believe about themselves when it comes to creation of wealth. It will spell out to them how they should go about, creating wealth. It will spell out to your children what wealth means to you as a family and how you are going to, what you do with the wealth that you have or the money that you build as a family is going to spell out with, as a family, where you invest this, what you do with it. Are you a family that when you have money, you will just catch it somewhere, you move it abroad, move it abroad, move it abroad, you keep having more and more? Or are you a family that believes that, okay, at some point we're going to, right from the beginning, we're going to be philanthropists. We're going to go into this, into that, into that. So when you pay attention to real, successful people who are intentional. Without coming very close, you can tell to an extent what their financial blueprint is possibly is, because you can see the patterns and you can see the trajectory in them, their children, and the family as a whole. Okay, so as a parent, you want to create this. So while you are creating your parenting plans, while you are creating those plans to educate your children, okay, while we're creating the educational or academic plans for our children, oh, the children are going to go to this kind of nursery school and move to this kind of secondary primary school. Oh, all my children are going to pass through this kind of school. In fact, some families are so detailed that our children will all pass through one particular kind of education. I know families that all their children, they insist that all of their children must have Jesuit training and education. That's a blueprint, right? That's a blueprint. That's an academic or educational blueprint that family has created. Kudos. It's something you can't even begrudge them for deciding that this is what it is for my family, because we all have a right to create that blueprint that we want, basically. And it's not as if you're going to force your children into this. Okay, you realize that when this has been created, your children are, they're naturally I don't want to call it indoctrinated. They're naturally, taking this thing basically, because this becomes who we are. It is what we are. It is our blueprint. So as I said at the beginning, it is your job as a parent to create these things, make your children understand and believe. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a forced thing. Sometimes when parents hear the stories of families that are inclined, to certain things, or they have a direction that they are going, a path that they are going, people who can create these things, people who don't even have the discipline, all right, they don't even, people who don't even think that life can be this, planned, basically, come out, those of us who can create some things, certain things, we know how to trivialize the effort that other people make. So sometimes you hear people make jest and make you feel like, oh, they forced all of them to be. No, a lot of times it's not forced. It's a blueprint. right? And it was presented from the very beginning. When you know what you're doing, when you are organized, when you are a planner, when you know what you are doing as a parent, as a family, I promise you, it's easy for your children to believe and to follow. I gave the example at the beginning of the boss. When you have that boss that is a confident person, that boss that is calm, articulates, he's empathetic, and he is goal driven. You can see the boss, and there is everything to emulate or everything to aspire towards, in this person. What happens? Maximum respect. That's what happens from you as, their subordinate or their partner or whatever, or collaborator. You will realize that you have maximum respect for this person, and all of it is coming from, that person, who they are, basically. So it's the same thing as a parent. When you know where you're going to, you have knowledge, you know where you're going to, you know how to position yourself as an intentional parent. You know how to position yourself as a confident parent. What happens is your children, you're able to make your children understand your vision, understand the goal that you have, understand your mission as a family, understand where you are going to as a family. And as a result, you are able to create blueprints that will become a roadmap for you to achieve all of these visions that you have been able to sell to your family, and they believe and they trust, and so they are willing to be a part of it. That's what it is with a financial blueprint or whatever blueprint you are creating in your family. So because the financial education and the financial awareness of your child, of every human being, is very, very key. I don't know why we run away from it, but you see, financial awareness is a key part of our lives. Everything that we do somehow has money attached to it. Everything that we do, right? Even in living your purpose, a part of that purpose will be driven by how far you can go, how many or how far your reach can be. And none of this happens, without some financial expense going into it. So yes, money is part of who we are. Right? It's part of who we are. So I don't know why we shy away from it. It's something that our children should learn about. It's something that we should take seriously. Some of us, the only area of our lives that we create any form of blueprints, okay, many times these blueprints are not even stated, and documented in a way that our children can run with. We just use them. They're not even blueprints. It's just something that we have in our head, and we use, to threaten our children. We use to taunt our children. We used to, just create a lot of wahala in the house. And most times it's just in the academics. We just know where we want them to get to, as far as schoolwork goes. And then our religion, we just know what we want, we just know what we want, how we want you to worship, basically. But we don't go through, most times, that's what most family, these are the only two things that most family throw her weight behind. And even at that, there isn't structure, or there isn't, a blueprint to read that, your child comes to the point where the child begins to believe, because they understand and they are willing to do this from a place of understanding, basically. All right. So that's why you want to do this. So you want to extend this beyond religion and just education. You want to extend it to every other area. So as a family, the first thing you want to do is sit down and think, what is the vision that I have for my family as as a couple, husband and wife, as a guardian, you could have primary caregiver of, a person or a child. All right, you could be the one who is now their primary caregiver. Okay, as a family, let's leave it like that. As a family, because even if you're a caregiver or whatever it is, provided this person is in your custody, the person becomes a part of your family, isn't it? So as a family, you want to sit down and say, basically, what forms or what makes up, who we are totally. Look at all the different areas. Okay, our spirituality, our education, right? Our financial beliefs, our religious beliefs, our think about all the areas that make up who you are as a family, isn't it? Each of these different beliefs that you have. What are our traditions? What are our family values? What are our beliefs around marriage? All of these different areas, have it and create a vision in each of these areas, then create blueprints, standard for what is acceptable, how we go about it, what is us, what is not us, and all of that. So in your financial blueprints, all right, I'm going to race through. I have written a few things here that you want to consider when you are creating that financial blueprint. So I hope by now, if you're here with me, say something in the comments. Who is here? All right, talk to me in the comments. Okay, if you're here, you're also catching the replay. All right, now I hope by now you have an idea, or you understand what it is when I say that financial blueprint and creating it for your children. All right, I'm going to be talking more about this and dealing a lot more, okay, about a lot more on this, financial education for parents. Basically, I have a free masterclass that comes up, right? I have a free masterclass that is coming up on the 25th of April. Yes, that is in less than 2 weeks. Okay, it's a free masterclass. You need to hop in there. Okay, it's going to be a robust masterclass where I'm going to be teaching and pouring in a lot more, than what we're able to talk about here today. Okay, this masterclass they give us a wider period of time to deal with this and, to break this down, in a way that you can take and run with, basically. So you want to be a part of that masterclass. It's for parents. Okay, hop in. We're going to share a link to a WhatsApp group where you can just click and join. All right, and then we'll take it away from there. From that platform, we would, build on the masterclass and then share the platform where we're going to have, everybody join for that masterclass. Where we're going to deliver the masterclass. All right, so it's going to be a masterclass. So it's not one of these talk here, a little there, and all of that. It's going to be a full masterclass, full modules, and all of that. And we are going to, deal with financial education because it's really, really very key. All right, very key. So you want to look out, for that in the next day. By the end of today or tomorrow, look out, you would have information on how to join that. You can also check this video, the description on this video if you're watching on YouTube, or the comment on this video later today, and you will have, how you can join that masterclass. I will be finding out from the team how they want us to go about it. Okay, it's supposed to come up like later, but I'm here. I might as well just mention that. Okay, and then we have, we do this for children also. Okay, we help children begin to walk their baby steps towards entrepreneurship, understanding, money, and forming the right the right money mindset. We do all of this. So you want to pay attention. You want to keep it locked in here so that you can see when all of these things come up and you can key in. All right, so let's go quickly through how you can build that financial blueprint, okay, in your children. All right, number one thing you want to do is you want to start early. You want to start as early as possible. As early as possible, start having this conversation about money. As early as possible, start modeling to your children, all right, the kind of financial habits that you want to see. All right, go with your children to the supermarket, shop together. All right, shop together with the children. I told you at the beginning, I said, when we go, the children don't just jump and carry anything they like and all of that. No, they know that money, to interact with money, you need to plan. Okay, create a plan around how you spend your money. All right, so because of that, we know that we are creating or we're forming a narrative about money, and that this is going to form their financial blueprints, basically. So because of that, okay, we try to, be consistent about this, how we interact with money and how our money behavior, basically. All right, so the children know that. All right, so go with them to these places where you can, where the things that you have written down as your blueprints, they get to see, you get a chance to model it or to practice it, right? They can practice it also. That's very, very key. All right, start early with these children. All right. As I said with them, to the parents in the mastermind, introduce the concept of, allowance to your children as early as possible. Okay, as early as possible, introduce allowance to your children. Give your children little allowances. Okay, when they are toddlers and do not understand money, okay, provided they don't understand money yet, what you can do is you can use pseudo currency. All right, you can use pseudo currency. You see, like those currency you find in Monopoly, in that game Monopoly, that you can actually create your own currency also at home. All right, when my daughter was little, we created currencies, for her. Our son had done a project, right, where he created his own country. So he created currency for his own country at the time. So create and put denominations to those currencies, and then let your child earn money for certain things. Have certain activities in the house that will earn her, right, currency points, or earn her money, or that will earn her points basically. And when she gets as many as a number of points, then she earns some money. Okay, you want to also be careful that you don't make your children entitled to think that everything they do at home has to be paid for. No, separate your children's chores from what it is that they can do and be rewarded for. Let the things that they do and are rewarded for be the extra things that are not even their chores. That they let them be things that you can actually give to other people to do for you and pay them, so that when your children are taking off those duties that other people could have been paid for, then you turn and you have to pay them, because if they weren't doing it, some other person will be doing it and you will pay that person. So don't cheat or shortchange your child. If your child is doing something that you could have paid for, then pay the child for it. Okay, but encourage this, and you can start with the little role play when they are toddlers. Do role plays where they earn those pseudo currency, and then they can use the pseudo currency to buy from your, from your make believe store, or supermarket at home. Role play is huge. All right, we've been talking about play. We've been talking about play for some time. In fact, we just finished a course yesterday where we're teaching parents how to adopt the play method. All right, how to adopt, the strategy of play, in raising wholesome children. I promise you, if you can incorporate play into your curriculum. We taught these parents how to take their curriculum, how to take the plan that they have, whether it's financial education, whatever area that you're educating, even their schoolwork, academics, how you can use that and integrate it with play and achieve results. These kind of children do not learn half and half. This kind of children, their learning is authentic. So when you see children that can remember what they learned, my son will remember what he learned in year 1, year 2, and he's almost going to SS1 now. He can remember, and he will still teach his sister, not just math and English that you can see. He will teach his sister to the basics about science and everything as if he was in her classroom, because everything that he did in elementary school is still fresh in his head. And that is because when he learns in elementary school, he learns from an authentic place. All right, so that course is something that no toddler parents can recover from. In fact, what we taught in that course, you can take and run with your child from 0 to 6 years old, even up to 7-year-old, and you will be solid. You would have given them a solid foundation. I'm not even kidding you. Okay, but the course is still available. Now we can sell to those who want access to it. We want access to that course. Just write in the comment toddler course. Okay, reach out to us, reach out to the team. Our number is always here, 081-306-21566. Just use that number to reach out to the team and make inquiry about that toddler course. It will bless you if you have children 0 to 6, even up to 7. All right. So yes, very, very key that you start early. All right, start with those pseudo currencies, and then when they are up to about 5 and they can do small chores in the house, or 6, you can help them in. You can begin to pay them little allowances, for those things that they do, the extra things that they do. But apart from that, have just allowance that you give them for nothing that they've done. Let it just be their monthly allowance. What the monthly allowance is you want to see how your child interacts with money. You want to know how your child interacts with money. It will give you an idea of how your child, the blueprints that your child, by the time they are 6, 7, is when you want to do this. 6, 7, it tells you what your child has picked from you when it comes to how to interact with money, how to behave around money, and all of that. Some of us travel with our children abroad. We go for those shopping sprees and all of that. Watch your children when they are out there doing those shopping. Okay, how your child shops. You will see that one that will pick anything and everything without giving two hoots. You will see the one that, some of us anyway, we even make the mistake of going to the shops with the children without putting a cap, okay, on how much they can spend, without even handing this money to them, because we want to micromanage them to the end. Even our big children, we are still taking from our purse to pay. It's wrong. You are not building that person for the future of money, for the future of wealth. You're not building the child. You're going to make them continue to come back to you at 30 and 40. Okay, that's why your children cannot be financially independent, because you didn't raise them to be. Okay, we didn't raise some of our children to be. So that's why even when they are married, they are still cunningly or silently or subtly depending on you. And we think it's because we are close. It's because you have raised someone who is independent, who is dependent as far as financial, as far as finances goes. And you should be worried. You should be worried, because think about it. What if you were not there, or when you are not there? What would they do? These are the ones that will squander what you took 50 years to create, to build. They will squander it in 5 years. So we need to be careful, dear parents. All right. So you want to start as early as possible. I remember when our son came home and wanted to start a business, right, from his entrepreneur club in school. He came and then he wanted, and we supported him. And joke, we're still here 5 years later. Our son is still running a business 5 years later, not because he's perfect, but because there are lessons to be learned, and he's there. If nothing else, he has learned staying power, isn't it? All right, the next one you want to do is you want to set clear goals as a family. Let it be clear, what it is. Where are we going to? Let it be clear what we're going to. Let it be clear what financial dreams we have. Let it be clear what financial projects we have as a family. Let your children in on the projects that you have. You have a house project. Your plan is, we live in this house. In 5 years, in 5 years time, we would have moved to our own house. In 10 years time, we would have bought one more property. There were 2 more properties. We would have gone into real estate. Why won't you create those kind of plans with the children? Create them and bring out the children into all of these kind of conversations. Let them understand. When you do this to your children, you empower them and you create a roadmap for how they can make financial decisions themselves. All right. So creating a financial blueprint will also help you. Will also promote your children making informed decisions when it comes to, money and finances and all of that. All right. So promotes set clear goals and all of that. Okay. Number 3 is promotes an entrepreneurial spirit in your children. Okay, promotes an entrepreneurial spirit in your children. This is what we do with the children in the mastermind. We're constantly having the children look inwards. What is that talent that you have? What is that skill that's a gift that you have? What is that hobby that you have? What is that thing that you do better than other people? You don't even realize it, but you do it better than most people. Okay, there could be that child. There's usually that child in the class that everybody goes to when they want to draw, when they want to do a particular thing. By the time Mark Zuckerberg went to Harvard, in his 2nd year in Harvard, everybody knew that there was a programming wizard in Harvard. In in school. Everybody knew. So every time someone had something, a new software, when someone was trying to create or build, everybody went to him. I mean, people were coming to him and asking questions. Who told you that there are people that are dispensable? Yes, I know we say those things every time. Oh, nobody's indispensable. Nobody's indispensable. But there are some people that carry so much value, that when they are removed from the equation, the system suffers. Don't let people come with general quotes and then you take it and all of that. Yeah, we know the day a person is no more, someone will replace. Does not mean that the person who replaces the person can come with the same kind of value that that person. So why are we not raising children who see themselves as valuable people? I said to the children in the mastermind today, I said to them, your mind is a factory. Your mind is a factory, and I want you to know that you can create anything from that mind. You can create anything from that factory because you can, because you were wired to. So when you raise children like this, when you speak to children like this, when you empower children like this, I said to them, all you need to do is look around you every day. What is the latest problem that I can see? What is it that people need that I can give to them? What is it that is a solution that I can create that people will want because it is valuable? That is what makes you valuable as a human being. And when you are valuable as a human being, no one can resist the value that you bring. No wonder people do not like Elon Musk, but they like the value that he brings to the table. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg has got many enemies, but oh, look at everybody on Facebook. Okay, he did not leave it at Facebook. He dragged himself to WhatsApp. You say you don't like Facebook, you will meet him in WhatsApp. You meet him on WhatsApp. Oh, you don't like that one too, you will meet him on Instagram. Do you understand? So you will use, at a point, he even tried to also take YouTube, so that as far as this social media space is, you either decide to be a dinosaur or you will come for the value that he brings to the table. This is how you position yourself. Oh, Dangote, Dangote, Dangote. Oh, Dangote monopoly, Dangote. I mean, people have been shouting, but hey, we still need, he still has value that he brings to the table. So that's it. That's what we want to teach our children. Teach them. It's about the value that you bring to the table. Okay, so when you are teaching, the child started hearing right from when he was 2 that he can bring value to the table by the solutions that he creates. Nobody will come and say to him, you need to be in a particular place where you have to be sexualized for you to be, I don't know. Okay, but as I said, it still boils down to what it is that is your family dynamics, your family values, what it is that you believe as a family, your ideology, your perspective, your beliefs. Take all of it and form what is okay for you. And if what is okay for you is any of these things, then you are fine. Then you know that you are raising the kind of person that you want to raise, not the one that society has created for you, not the one that pop culture has created for you, not the one that the people who create and put out there will not allow their children participate in, but will gladly have your children participate because your children are the products that they need to create their own wealth. Okay, because like it or not, okay, there is nothing that is free out there. All right, that thing that you think is free, check it. You're probably the product. Who said that even? But it makes so much sense. You're probably the product. That's why you think you can get it for free. All right. So very key that we know this, and that's, make your children financially responsible by that's, I talked about the allowance. Give them some allowance. Let them create a budget around that allowance. Let them use it and then let them come back, right? Teach them what to do with it, okay? And then allow them, give them the free hand to go ahead and show some responsibility around, what has been given to them. It's just like the parable of the talents in the Bible, how the master gave each of the servants, you 2, you 5, you 1, and then he left and gave them allowance to do with the talents what they wanted. And when he came back, someone was wise, reasonable enough to multiply 5 to 10. Another was reasonable enough to multiply 2. And what did the third one do? because somehow, he has not been empowered, or somehow, somehow, okay, he's been, I mean, there was a gap that was left, that stories and, whatever out there in the society filled it in for him. And so he had mouths to say, oh, I heard that you are a wicked man, that if I lose your money, you will throw me. I heard. So I told you, there are no vacuums. All right. Someone will feel it. So that's why this servant is hearing stories. All right. So it's the same thing with the children. They will feel it in if you are not feeling it with the right narrative and creating the blueprints that your child can understand. All right, the next one I'm going to give you is collaborate with your children. Collaborate with your children so that you can model firsthand to them how it is to run small businesses, to run small services, to create impact, whatever it is. Your children do not even have to be out there if you don't want them to be out there yet. Depending on your family dynamics, they don't even have to be out there doing anything per se, okay, but that doesn't stop them from building skills behind the stage. All right, so at some point our son sees doing a lot, directly, but if I tell you the amount of work that he does behind with me, every time I go live that is at home, he does the setup. A lot of times he would do, a lot of times he would do flyers for me. Sometimes when I cannot get, my professionals to do it and I'm stranded, he jumps right into and take that position. There are times he will have to create PDF for me. Of course, all my slides, most of the times when it's done during the weekend, he does them. He's gotten he's built so many skills, right? Just being behind the stage. So whatever it is, whether your children are out there doing anything, running a business, being entrepreneurs, building a skill, or delivering a skill, creating whatever it is, whether they are there or they are behind the scene, just make sure that your children are practicing and that your children are consistently building this. All right. Behind the scene is as good as right there. The brain does not know that you are out there or you are behind the scene. The brain just knows that you are creating, you are showing up, you are building, you are practicing, and the child will build muscles either way, in front or behind the scene. But make sure that whatever it is that you're doing works with your family dynamics and that the child and the interest of the child is protected more than anything else. The child is safe, the child is protected, and then the child is not being stretched, right? And the child is not doing anything that they do not enjoy or they do not believe in. Very, very key. The next one is provide financial education. All right, provide at every point. Let your children read books. I remember the first time my son read Rich Dad Poor Dad. We read Rich Dad Poor Dad together. We read what's this other book? What was it? Psychology of Money. We read Psychology of Money together. We read Rich Dad Poor Dad together. Of course, we have read my book, my book, Young and Money Smart. We've read that and reviewed it. He's read it and he's reviewed it to us, reviewed it with us. All right. So that's my one of my most recent books, Young and Money Smart. This book is I Came for Your Child's Mindset. If you have been listening to me, you will hear that I'm very big on how our children think about money. If you've listened, you will know that I've not said anything about our children making money yet. I'm still talking about their mindset and all of that. But send your children to the course that I'll be running for children, and there we will deal with everything. Purpose, we will deal with purpose, how to tie that purpose, to financial everything. We will deal with all of it: mindset, money, purpose, creating wealth, harnessing, their gifts and their talents and their hobbies, and what direction they can look at when it comes to solving problems, around them. Let's start having these conversations with children. So yes, help them, provide financial education. Okay, enroll them for the course. All right, that is you providing financial education for your children. Have conversations, share perspective with them and all of that. And then the last one I'm going to be talking about is budgets. Teach your children to create budgets, you know, for those allowances that you will give them. All right, of course, one more, savings. Teach your children about savings. Okay, start with teaching them about savings. Use the piggy bank system. Okay, for instance, you can teach them, we'll be doing that in the course also. Teach the children how to allot, you know, the money that they have into different piggy banks, you know, as it is in reality. You know how in reality you don't just have all your money and put it in one box and cover it there. In reality, you will have your money, you will spread it into what you spend, you spread it into what you save. Okay, what it is, you know, they're all that's what you spend, what you save, what you use for tithe or offering or whatever it is, gifts, you have all of that. So you teach your children how to see money, you know, in those dimensions, and basically, you know, how to bring that into real life tangibility. Very, very key. All right, so I think this is where we're going to call it a day for today. So yes, look out for the free masterclass, all right, financial masterclass, so that you can be a part of that masterclass. Who knows, I might even have one extra person and experts, you know, with me when we do that masterclass. I'm not promising, but who knows? But whatever it is, it's going to be eye-opening. It's going to give you, it will give you a practical template. Anything, we don't do anything here that is not. If we invite you to a course or we invite you to a masterclass, it's because we want to step down practical ways that you can, you know, engage that in that thing and make it tangible. All right, when we come here for these weekly shows, we give you tips, we give you, you know, we open your eyes to what is possible, we give you tips that you can try, but it goes much more than that. So that's why you want to key into our, you know, stretched programs and, you know, our master classes basically, and our courses that are stretched so that you can get the full benefit of it. Okay, above all of this, then you want to work with us directly. And because we don't work with parents directly, we work with parents that their children work with us. All right, that we work with their children, because we know that we need you, us, and then for us to impact the children as we should. So if you have children between 6 and 14, the mastermind is a foundation ground. That's what I want to say to you. That's all I will say to you today. The mastermind is a foundation ground. It is that place that your child is launched into self-awareness in a calm, comforting, encouraging, you know, and cheerleading way. When your children come, we love them and we teach them to love themselves, and we teach them to love the process. So they love themselves, they love the process, and then they are able to learn because they love the process and they love the people, you know, in that process with them. And so while at it, the children will build the foundational skills that they need, executive functioning skills, all of these foundational skills that they need. So by the time we graduate them to the mastermind, into teenager programs, you know, into teenage programs, you know, and all of that, your children are solid. Your children are, they are productive, right? We want to raise more productive young people, teenagers, basically, who understand empathy, the place of honor, and then the place of self-sufficiency. Thank you very much, everyone who joined. If you caught the replay, thank you. Let us know in the comments what you are taking away from this class. If you got value from this class, let us know. If you would like to be a part of the mastermind, you can actually enroll your child right now for the September cohorts, where we would we'll start with a new cohort of the mastermind circle. But you can enroll your child or book a slot by paying 5,000 naira only to secure your slot for the mastermind circle, and then get ready. You just pay instrumentally before September for you to become a part of the mastermind circle. All right, also look out for the free masterclass on financial education. We want to empower you as a parent so that you know how to help your children. All right, so you can take a screenshot of the details. Okay, there is no real detail here. I can't see any accounts detail. All right, but you can reach out to us just in the comments. Just reach out there, and We could be a part of it. And yes, did I forget this? We have a mastermind conference. It's a free conference for children between ages 7 and 15. Free conference, bring your children in there. It's a conference for young people by young people, where your children will be listening to other children who have started making baby steps towards, living out purpose and creating impact in the world. Amazing conference, 3-day conference from Friday to Sunday on the 10th to the 12th of May. All right. We'll also have the link in the comments so that you can just click, okay, and join that conference or register your child for the conference. It's free, but registration is required. Thank you very much again. Have a fantastic rest of the day and a blessed week ahead. Bye.